Okay, on my clock, it's time to start. Hello, everybody. I hope everybody can hear me. Welcome. So, here we are, and my name is Rachel Smets, and I will be teaching today about working abroad and the different cultural habits. Working abroad is a very broad topic where I can talk a lot about because I've been living abroad for 14 years now and several jobs, several countries. So I'll be happy to share all that with you and also what to expect when you work abroad and when you arrive in different countries. Let's have a look at the agenda that I prepared for today. We start with a small breathing exercise because I like you to be very present and aware of our next half hour. Then I will talk about working abroad, the opportunities and the challenges. There's good stuff and there's less good stuff. Then I will share with you the cultural differences per country. I will give you examples of my own experiences in the different countries that I have listed: Belgium, UK, Scotland, Netherlands, France, Germany, India. Everywhere you have specific habits, cultural things that you might want to know about before you start looking for a job. And then I will end up and asking if you have any questions. Please use the chat box. If you have questions, comments, please just type it in and we can just have a nice discussion. Okay, let's start with the breathing exercise. It really doesn't take long, but I do want you to just close your eyes and I'm going to participate. Have your both feet next one to another, not crossing legs. Have your hands above your knees and just take a deep breath in and a breath out. And again, a deep breath in through your nose and breathe out. And your breathing slows down. And even if you hear sounds or noises around you, just let it all pass. Let your thoughts pass by. All you need to do is be present here and now. And breathe in one more time. And breathe out. And slowly you can open your eyes. And here we are, ready for class. I'm so excited. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so working abroad. I said it has opportunities and it has challenges. When you spend a year abroad, I've written down some bullet points because there's a lot you learn and a lot you gain, and it's just a great experience to be working abroad, working and living abroad. It is very different than a holiday. If you go on a holiday, you go for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, lovely sunshine, lovely people, having nice food, spending money. But if you work and you live abroad, it's a whole different thing. You have to adapt to the culture. You have to find your way. You have to buy your food in a grocery store. You cannot go to the restaurant every single day. So it is a very different experience. Having said that, it is a great opportunity. I have experienced it myself, and I can tell you it's a great experience. You learn a lot as a person. You learn cultures. You learn a language. You learn different habits. Okay? So it is a great experience that improves your personal development. So let me just read what I wrote. Is when you spend time abroad, and I mean not holiday, I mean really a year working, living, You refine problem solving and decision making skills. What do I mean is you experience a lot of problems. You arrive in a new country, you need a bank, you need electricity, you need a telephone. There's a lot of decisions you have to make. So you are confronted with a lot of decision making, and you learn that. You learn to be quicker in decisions because you have to when you're abroad. You don't have your normal phone or your normal gas bill or your normal people around you. It's different. So you learn from that. Secondly, you learn, improve, and understand the importance of dialogue among people with different cultures. You see, every country, every culture you address differently. You talk maybe slower, maybe faster, maybe articulating another language. There's maybe you look somebody in the eyes in one country, but another culture you cannot look somebody in the eyes. There's a lot of differences, and you adapt. You adapt to speak to other people in other cultures. So again, you open up as a person because you learn all these things. You have to adapt. Third, you develop these skills, which are an enormous asset for business. Because if you learn to address people in different cultures, when you apply for a job in a company, you are more flexible to all the people, to colleagues, to a new boss, a new colleague. So for business, it's a great, great asset on your CV, okay? If you apply for a job. You reduce the chances of losing business deals. What I mean is that you are more attractive if you have been living or working abroad, or even if it's your first time you apply for a job in a business abroad, they will say, wow, you took the chance and the risk to move away from your country. That's great. So already people in a business like you more because you take that chance, you take that risk. So you are showing your ambition, your initiative, and bosses like that. Okay, another thing, you develop linguistic, academic, professional, intercultural skills and personal development. Okay, because you have to probably learn a new language or improve. For example, all of you speak English, you understand me, but are you very fluent? So you will learn to be more fluent in your conversation. You'll learn academically, professionally, because you will have to work or study abroad. You can't just lay back and do nothing. Again, intercultural skills. You learn to adapt to new culture, habits, other foods, other ways of greeting. Do you shake hands? Do you give a kiss? A lot of things, okay? So you grow, you develop. Okay, another point, you demonstrate various skills and understanding culture. Again, you have to adapt. So you have to demonstrate all these skills, okay? So you learn and you use them and you show it, you demonstrate it. Another point I wrote, you develop the ability to adapt to different environments, okay? Because everywhere you will have a different environment, a different climate. It can be very hot, it can be very humid, it can be very cold. It depends where you are. It can be windy, you adapt to cold, you buy more winter clothes, or you buy more rainy clothes, or you buy more summer clothes because somewhere it's always summer in the south, for example. So you become much more flexible. Environment is not only the climate, it's also, do you go to your work with the bicycle? Do you live in London and have to take the subway? Do you live in the Netherlands and you can bicycle? Do you live somewhere where you only need a car? Okay, so you adapt. This makes you more flexible, but it makes you more flexible in a lot of different ways. Okay, so all great stuff. You integrate into a different economic, social, and political system. Again, you learn in every country there's different politics, there's different economics. People are different socially, okay? Can you be direct? Do you need to be polite? You know, all of these things I will explain in an example in a minute, okay? My next slide. And the last bullet point I wrote is you are showing self-confidence, the ability to handle complex situations, reliability and independence. Because you show, you know, you take the risk to move abroad. You show self-confidence. You know, if you're insecure, you don't want to take a risk. You don't want to move away from your habits and your family and your friends. If you move abroad, and you search a job abroad, you show self-confidence. You know, here I am, I can do this, I believe in myself, okay? And you can handle more complex situations. So these are just a few things, but there's so much more. It's only to show you that it's a challenge, yes, but you learn so much. So challenge and opportunity hanging together. Okay. I will move to my next slide. There we go. What I would like to show you here is my own experience. My own experience in all these countries that I've listed, and briefly explain to you examples of what you can expect in each country culturally when we're talking about a job, okay? So I'm relating everything to the job situation, the working abroad situation, okay? That's important if you look for a job abroad, okay? Again, if you have any comments or remarks, please put it in the chat box, okay? Okay, so important for you to know. Let's start with Belgium, my own native country where I don't live now, but it's Belgium, okay? So I put the flag, and let me just show you where I am. Here I am. Okay, how are the people on the job floor in Belgium? Okay, people in Belgium are rather silent, not too noisy. You know, they're discreet, kind of. They're polite. It's also on the job floor, you have to address Mr. and Mrs. Give a handshake. And what I mean with that is that you don't say, "Hi, Joe, how are you doing?" No, you say, Mr. Mr. Smith, how are you doing? Or Mrs. Smith, how are you doing? And you give a handshake, okay? So very polite, very kind of conservative, silent, and that's in Belgium, okay? People are nice, but, you know, not noisy or open or too many discussions. Now the next country is the UK. You will see that I've split UK and Scotland. I know they are both Great Britain, okay? They are both UK, but it is so different. It's so different when you live in Scotland or if you live in the UK. So I will explain you why. Living in the UK, people are rather also closed and reserved, very formal and very strict, okay? So if you start a job at 8 a.m. in the morning, you better be there at 8 a.m. in the morning. If there's a lunch break at 12 p.m., you take your break at 12 p.m. Not 11:55 and not 12 and 5, because at 12 o'clock, bye-bye, here I go, you know? So it's very strict, also very formal. People are also closed, and what I mean is, if you work in the UK, that's my experience. If you're not an English person, if you're not native English, you don't really feel like belonging, okay? People will answer you, people will talk to you, but they will not really open up or get you involved in discussions or you know, ask you out or something. It's you really have to push communication. So it's not so easy. However, it's all in English. So maybe that is why a lot of people go to the UK, because the language is English and it could be easier. Okay. Now there's Scotland. Scotland is a world apart from the UK, even though officially not. Scotland, the Scottish people have a very funny accent, okay? They are very open. That's why it's such a difference with the rest of the UK. The Scottish people are talking, smiling, helping. They will address and talk to you even if you don't ask. They're very open. They're very helpful. They would really go out of the way. You know, if you have a question, they will help you. In the UK, you really have to ask, you know, can you please help me? In Scotland, if you have a question, you can address anybody in the street, in a supermarket, and people will help you. Really, they're very open. It is nice. You know, you don't feel so alone, because I always traveled on my own. Okay, fourth country, here we are. Now we are in the Netherlands. Netherlands is where I live right now, and it's a country where people are very as well. There are different parts, okay? I have to say the south of Netherlands people are a bit different than the north of Netherlands. So there is a bit of a difference. In general, people are very direct. What I mean with direct is, and I'm also talking about the job floor here, okay? Let's be clear. People just tell you what they think, okay? Rachel, what weird thing are you wearing today? Or Rachel, geez, you have bags under your eyes. You didn't sleep well. You know, people just tell you. Or, hey, you're looking great today. You know, where have you been? Or, hey, you've been on holiday. So people are just, you know, you just, at first you think, wait a minute, I don't know you that well. But it's okay. People are like that. And I must say I like that, because I know what they think of me, and I can also say what I think of them. So I like that openness and directness, because you know where you stand. I also, and this is really very specific to the Netherlands, and very strange for when you just arrive, people address each other with their first name. You know, even if it's your boss or a high director in a company, you just say, hi, Joe, hi, Jim, hi, Paul, hi, you know, you don't say Mr. or Mrs. Smith. You just say, hey, Rachel, hey, Sandy. And that is, for me, amazing. In a company, an international company, you can just address and speak to your boss, you know, like that. I find that very interesting. Another thing I wrote here is many meeting discussions. They love to talk, the Dutch. They really love to talk, okay? They can go on and on and on with discussions and meeting discussions. So not always having a conclusion in the end, but that's how they do it. Okay, I'm moving on to France. And this is the country France, and the colors of the flag as well that I put in there. The French are, you will have to learn French if you go to France, because they really don't make an effort to learn a lot of languages. So you will have to make the effort to learn French. French is not easy. I speak it well, but it's not easy. And when we consider only the job, then the people are very difficult to connect, okay? I wrote difficult to connect and difficult in business relations. It is very hard to make a relationship at work, in business, also outside of work, okay? People are, if you're not French, it will take a very long time to build a relationship. You have to see somebody one time, two times, three times, four times, five times. Talk to them. Be polite. Shake hands before they really will start a normal, informal conversation with you. Okay, they don't like strangers. They don't like foreigners. They like French people. So it is very hard there to really get close to somebody and to really know somebody. You can live 1 year next to your neighbor and don't know his first name. Easy. That's in French very common. They they will keep saying hi, Mr. Smith, or maybe hi, maybe bye, but that's it. So it's really hard. Then we move to Germany. This is Germany, this is the country and the colors of the flag. Now, Germany, I wrote very punctual and formal. And this is, I think, even more so than the UK. Remember, I said in the UK, people are also very punctual in a sense of, you know, we start working at 8, we leave the job at 5, and that's that. In Germany, it's even more so, okay? So there again, it's start at 8, lunch break is 12, come back from lunch at 1:45, and then leave the office at 5, okay? On the dot, not 5 minutes before, not 5 minutes later, really strict. However, they are very correct in a sense that if they need documentation, if you need a passport or a document or a paper, or if you have a meeting at the office, they will be there. You can count on them, okay? And that is very nice in a way. If you're waiting for paperwork, documents, visa, whatever, it will be done, okay? You ask it, they promise you it will be done. On the job, for example, you have a meeting, there is a discussion, there will be a conclusion. So every meeting has a structured outcome, let's say. First of all, they will be punctual, you know? Meeting starts at 9 a.m., fine, everybody's there at 9 a.m. For example, in the Netherlands, you have a meeting at 9, you will leave at 9 to go to the meeting. So you're always 5 minutes late. In Germany, not. You arrive on time. Okay, so very punctual, very formal, Mr. Jim, Mr. this, Mr. that, you know, very handshake, rarely a kiss. So very punctual, very formal. However, let's talk about Spain. Spain, the south of Europe. Spain, lovely sunny country, okay? Now here, it's the opposite. They are not punctual, not, okay? Spain is a country known for the siesta and mañana. I don't know if you know the word mañana. Mañana means in Spanish tomorrow. If it's not done today, then mañana. If it's not, you know, we don't have time today, mañana. So you have to be very patient there to get something done because they will not hurry up. They will take their time. In the afternoons, they need a siesta, and a siesta is the word for nap. They will need their little nap in the afternoon. So don't pressure them because they will not do it. They're very open in the work floor as well, smiling and talking and chatting and social. So that's nice. It is nice. It is open. It is friendly. It is social. It's not strict and not so formal. So it is pleasant to work there. But again, don't expect something to be done when you want it to be done, because it will not happen. It's the one country where I learned to have patience, because you have an appointment or a meeting and you can easily wait half an hour before it starts. So you better be prepared to have patience and to wait. The last country I want to address is India. And what I wrote here is higher value placed on the other person. In India, people are very respectful for the other one, okay? So Indian people have a lot of respect for their neighbor, their friends, the people, their family. It is the opposite of a selfish country. It's the opposite of, they don't care so much about themselves, but they will help you, okay? However, they're also always late, okay? Do not count on Indian people to be punctual. That will not happen, okay? They're very friendly. They're very hardworking people, okay? At the job floor, very hardworking. A lot of respect, but not punctual. Okay, so no questions, you guys. Nothing at all. I hope you like it. These are the countries that I experienced, but of course there's many, many more. But one advice that I will give you, if you look for a job in another country, make sure to look and study or ask somebody like me who has experience, ask people how the culture is, because it is everywhere different. And if you know before you move what the big differences are, you can also know if you would like it, or maybe if you will end up in a shock and better not go there. So please, it's not just seeking a job abroad, but also research the culture. What are the people like? The perfect way to do that is ask. Ask people who have lived and worked there where you want to go. It's really, really, really a big advice that I'm giving you, is to talk to people that are expats like me, that have experience, and that can tell you, look, make sure to pay attention to the culture, the food, the climate, the way to address people, how people are. It is really important to know that before you apply, before you move. Okay, so please. I will be having more classes in the coming weeks, every week, about on Saturdays, about working and applying abroad, and things you need to think about, and things that are really important. Okay, so I will be teaching much more about this in the coming, so please look for my classes if you are interested, because I will give away a lot of tips and advice starting tomorrow, actually. Let's see what else, because we have 2 more minutes. These are the countries that I have lived in and that I've just discussed with you. These, and 14 years of experience, challenges, there's stress, there's the question, why am I doing this? But it's all worth it, like I explained in my first slide. Let's see if you have any more questions, because I'm looking at the time and I will not extend the class. I think half an hour is plenty of information that you have to absorb. So I will really, so my first class again about applying for jobs is tomorrow at afternoon, evening, depending where you are. And the Saturday after that, and the Saturday after that, and also on a Sunday. So you have to look at the schedule. But if you don't have any more questions, then this is what I will be talking about applying for a job abroad. It was one of my classes, the questions you should ask yourself before you move abroad. Are you the right person to move abroad? There's a lot of things to think about, and I will give a lot of tips and a lot of advice, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope to see you again. Thank you all so much. Ciao. Bye-bye.